Hi Sabates, you're welcome to a new tutorial. This is Styled by Summit. To all my existing subscribers, you are wonderful. If this is your first time of hearing my voice, please feel free to subscribe. We are doing this style in today's tutorial. Alright guys, on the cutting table, I have measured my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. I'm taking my neck width. I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. I took a neck depth of 3 inches, and I am marking the chest line, shoulder to chest line. That's what you see me do there. So I will take my measurements vertically and horizontally and draw them into straight lines, and we are going to be continuing with this video. Alright, so mate, I've gone ahead to put them into straight lines. I've taken my neck, I've drawn my neckline, and I'm squaring up the shoulder line, as you can see, and I will do the armhole line, and just like that we'll continue. So moving forward, I'm going to be taking a dart of 3.5 inches. This person is not that big, as we saw. So our nipple to nipple measurement, that's her bust span, is 7 inches. So divide by 2 is 3.5 inches. I will take that all round to the length of the blouse, to the hem of the blouse. And after that, I took a dart of 1 inch at the center front and 1.5 inches at the side front. Yes, I wanted the cup to come out well, and that was why I did that. So I'm taking a dart of 1 inch at that front area, center front area, and 1.5 at the inner dart, at the inner dart. So at the hip line, I did 1/2 inch on both sides. I didn't want the dart to be that much around the hip, so I did 1/2 inch on the hip area, just like you can see. So I'm going ahead to rule up the lines, connect them from the underbust to the waist and to the hem line, that's the blouse length. Okay, I will go straight further to connect it to the bust point area with my curve pattern. Make sure to give it a very nice curve, just like you can see, and that is what we are having. So from the bust point area, from the chest line, I went up by 1.25 inches. Yes, I went up by 1.25 inches, but later I came down with 1 inch so that we can get the sweetheart neck. So around that part, I'll draw the line, square it up, because that's going to be the upper chest line. That's what I labeled there, the upper chest line. So around there, I'll still mark my nipple to nipple measurement, and I took 1/2 inch that on the center side, and at the side front, I took 0.75 inches. You can see the difference. I took 1/2 inch at that center front area, then around the other side front, I took 0.75 inches. That making it, yes, that's the dart I took around that part. So from that upper chest line, I still came down by 1 inch so that we can get a sweetheart neckline. So this is me connecting it from the one leg of the dart, yes, which we can see. I came down by 1 inch. So right away, I'm going for that. I'll go ahead now and take my measurements. My bust span divide by, my bust measurement divide by 4, my waist measurement divide by 4, and the hip measurement divide by 4. Now for the waist, I snatched it with 2 inches because her original waist was given 30. Her original waist was given 28. Then I subtracted 20. I subtracted 2 from 28. I was having 26 inches. So I used 26 inches for her waist snatching. She didn't want it to be too tight on her. So I subtracted 2 from 28. I used 26 for her waist. Her original waist is 28 inches. So at the waistline, you put the waist circumference, the new waist circumference, that's the subtracted one, which is the 26, or you do what, depending on the measurement you're working with. But mine, I'm working with 26 after I have subtracted the one I want to use for the snatching of the waist. So I'll now connect the lines like so, connect it from the bust area to the waist and straight down to the hip. So I already inputted my dash replacement and my seam allowances. Yes, I cut my paper with seam allowance. I don't want to cut seam allowance on my fabric, on my fashion fabric. So I cut it on the paper. So if I am just going to cut, I'll cut straight out on my fabric and I'll go straight to the sewing table and just attach them up. So that is what I am having. So this is what we are having now. So for the style at the hemline, at the dart area, I went up by 2.5 inches and I'll use my pencil to connect it up. And I connected it with this curve. I used my pencil first to do that. You can see me doing that. Connect it with a curve to the side area and then put it up to the center front. So you can just do what you want, style it, freestyle it, just do you when you're styling this. So for the bust point, I came down by 1.5 inches for the bust dart, because that's different between her back waist and the front waist. So I came down by 1.5 inches for the bust dart. So I'm trying to square up the measurement again. So please guys, ignore that first line. You can see the one I'm canceling. Ignore it, because when I finished marking it, it was not giving me that the snatch effect I wanted. So I didn't rule the lines well. So to open the bust dart, I have to open the waist dart first, so that I can be able to close up the bust dart. You can see me closing up the bust dart. I've gone ahead to close it and we are trimming off the cutting. We're already done and we are trying to trim. So I use my ruler to mark out the side area, the part that is not in order after putting the bust dart. So I'll go ahead to trim off and we'll see what we are having. I'll trim it off and we'll now go to the back cutting. We'll go ahead and cut the back. So I'm cutting the yoke, though this yoke is not going to be used, but we'll just have to cut it off. You understand? For reference purpose, and so that somebody will not be like, how did she start? So this is what we are having for the back piece, the front piece, sorry. So this is what we are having, and our style lines are ready. So this is me now going on to place them to show us what we are having. So after now, we'll go to the back to cut out the back. So for the back, I've placed my measurement, the chest line, the waistline, and the hem line. I inputted the bust point line there, but it's not going to be needed since it's the the back piece that we want to cut. So for the back dart, I use a dart of 1 inch, a half inch on both sides. That's 1 inch in all. Half inch everywhere. Then from the chest line at the center back area, I came down by 1 inch so that I can slant the neckline around there. So this is me using my curve ruler. I first of all went with straight rule, but it wasn't giving me that effect I wanted. So I used my curve ruler to slant it up a bit. You can see the shape I'm having there. So I'm now going for that to mark my measurements. I've marked my measurement all around, and I'm taking my dart of half inch on both sides at the waist and even at the hip, just like you can see me do. So I'm connecting it to the chest line area, just like you can see. Now I'm removing the part that is going to be open at the back. So this is going to be having a lace, not a zipper. You can use zipper if you want. So for the up area, I went in by 1.5 inches, and at the down, I went in by 1 inch. This is my regular styling. If you know, I don't want it to open always at the back. So this is where we are going to be shedding off. That's the part that will be open, and the other side will be for the looping area. So I'm going ahead to mark my measurements. You take your measurement just like you did at the front. You replace your dart intakes and you add and I added my seam allowances, because at the front I added seam allowance because I don't want to cut seam I don't want to start putting up seam allowances at the side area. So I already put it on paper. So if I'm cutting, I already know what I am cutting. So I'll now bring the front side, the side front, so that and the center front, so that we can be able to give it this same shape, because I want the same shape to be replicating at both sides, the front and the back piece. So I'll now bring in my front piece, place them together so that I can be able to draft out the shape. You can still go ahead and give the back a different style if that's what you want, but me, I want to maintain the same style line for the front and for the back piece. So I'll go ahead and now cut it, and after cutting it, we'll now go to our fabric and cut. So I used a crepe material. To achieve this, and I think I didn't even use up to 1 inch. I didn't finish 1 yard of crepe material. Yeah, so that is what I'm having. So ensure to identify where is the up of the back and where is the side, especially the center, back, and that part that you will join, which is the dart area. So me, I used to put arrows on all the sides so that I can know. So I've gone ahead to cut it out on my fabric. I added 1/2 inch seam allowances on the side that will be joined. As you can see, at the seam allowance area, there is no allowance because I have already inputted my allowance. So I've gone ahead to join up the pieces together. This is the back piece. I've gone ahead to put my lacing rope. I used rope. I didn't want to use an eyelet, so I used I used a lacing rope. I've gone ahead to fix it, and this is for the lining. I've gone ahead to join the linings for the back piece, and I added my bones to it. You can see I added the bones to the dart side and to the dart area, and one other boning case at the other side. So this is for the back. I'll now bring in the front to show us what we are having. Alright guys, this is the front. I went ahead to place my wadding. I ironed my wadding on it. You can see how this cup is cupping. So this is the inside. You see the depth that we achieved. So if you cut it the way we did in the pattern paper, this is what you're going to be having. Now this is the lining piece for the front. I've gone ahead to do my bust caging on it. This is the front piece, and this is what we are having. See the depth that it is giving. So this is what we are having on the lining piece. I also went ahead to put my bonings around the bodice area. You can go ahead to add more of the bones. So we are going to be doing an inseam finish in this clothes. So you first of all join the back, the main piece, the front and back. This is me. I'm putting them together on how I'm going to join. So I'll go to the sewing table, the sewing machine, join it up and show us. I will repeat the same thing for the back piece. Joining the back piece together, for the lining piece, join the back and the front together. Then we'll now use it to turn up the main material, and our dress is ready. So for the straps I used in this, I used 2 inches. I cut out 2 inches, then I joined it up on fold, and I'm now having 1.5 inches. So I'll now use my safety pin to turn it up. So after turning it up, I've gone ahead to iron, and this is what I am having. So if you're placing it, that part that you stitch, you iron it to be at the center so that it will now be the back of it. That's what I'm trying to show. So you pin it up where the front dart area is located. You pin it where the front dart area is located. You pin it up around that part. Pin the first one and you pin the second one. This is me trying to show us how to pin it up. You pin the first one, and I'll go ahead and pin the second one. Don't forget where the dart is situated, where the dart is sitting, that is where you will place it. So this is me now placing it, and this is what we are going to be having. Don't forget, we're still going to stitch it in with 1/2 inch and turn the neck of the main clothes and the lining with 1/2 inch so that it can cover the lace. So for the back piece, to stitch that this thing, I went in by 3 inches from the main, what I am having. I went in by 3 inches. Mind you, we subtracted 1.5. So if you add that 1.5 that we've removed for the opening of the bar, we're going to be having 4.5 inches. Yes, so that is that. For the back piece, I went in by 3 inches, and I joined the strap up. And this is what we are having. So I will now go ahead and attach the front bodies and the back bodies together and sew this strap on them and still bring it to show us before turning it with our lining. Yes, the dress is already formed. Alright guys, if you have watched to this point and you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and give me a comment in the comment section. Alright, so I've gone ahead to join the front piece and the back piece, you can see, for the main fabric. So I'm going to have to join. I'm going to further to trim off the seam allowance that I used to join. Please make sure you trim your seam allowance and you knot the waist area, because the waist is somehow curved since it is cinched, since it is snatched, so that it will not be bugging around that place, so that it will lay flat. So this is the strap. I have gone ahead to join them up in the areas that I marked and the areas I pinned. So I've gone ahead to join them up, and this is what we have. You see that back I told you, and this is the front piece. So I'll now bring the front, the lining also, and show us. I've gone ahead to also join the lining, the back piece and the front piece together. So we'll now go further to have our style lining. We'll now move ahead to do our style lining very well. Already I've done it on the pattern piece, so I'm just going to modernize it, like give it that fine shape, because some trim off the little excess that I had at the down area. So that's what I'm trying to do, trim all the little excess and make sure that all of it, they are lying equal. So this is what we are having, guys. So I'm going ahead to cut it off, and after cutting, I'll flip it over, open it, and then make sure that all of it, they are equal. So I'll still repeat the same thing on the lining piece, and after doing that, I'll now go ahead to join the lining, turn the lining and the clothes together. Use the lining to turn the main fabric together, and I'll still bring it to show us what we're having. So if you're turning, you turn, first of all, turn from the neck. You turn the neck of the front, the neck of the back, then join it up at the side center back area, so that you use it to cover up that lacing rope that we have there. Then I also went ahead to put a boning channel at the center back where the lacing ropes are sitting. Yeah, so that's what I did. I will now after doing that, now our dress is going to be ready. Then the draping of the sleeve, I draped it on top of a mannequin, and I was trying to rush this because my client was already around when I was making this dress. She had to travel, so she came back so early, and she came in so quick, unexpected, that she had some emergency. So this is it. This is the inside. I've already gone ahead to turn everything, and this is what we are having. So my client came around and she fitted it, and I draped the sleeves on her. The skirt is already ready. Here comes the end of this video. Bye.